Hello everyone, Chapter 2, Lesson 6. We're on page 113, and this is using partial products and the distributive property. So, let's take a look. First, we're going to draw it, so we're going to kind of take a look at this paragraph. It says, Darnell and his 4 friends went to an ice skating rink and bought sandwiches. They divided the total cost and found that each person needs to pay $17. What was the total cost for the ice skating rink? So what we're going to do is we're going to use an area model. So we have to find, there's 5 people and they each paid $17. So what's the total cost? We're going to multiply 5 times 17. So 5 times 17 is it's normally not a number easy to do mentally in your head. So we're going to find a strategy to make it a little bit easier to compute. So we're going to take a look at the 17. We're actually going to split the 17. We're going to do split the 17 by doing 10 plus 7. So instead of doing 5 times 17 now, since we split up the 10 plus 7 and that equals 17, we can actually multiply 5 by 10 and 5 by 7 because those two numbers are easier to compute. So we know 5 times 10 equals 50, and 5 times 7 equals 35. So if we add those together, 50 plus 35, that's going to equal 85. So that means 5 times 17 equals 85. So the total cost for the ice skating and the sandwiches was $85. So this is what it means to use partial products. So we're gonna do more examples. Let's take a look at some of the vocabulary. When you use partial products, you're using a property. A property is a rule in mathematics that can be applied to all numbers. The property that you applied above is called the distributive property. You will learn more about this property in the next lesson. I know, just for a heads up, I do want you to write this down because when you guys become 6th graders, you will actually be learning the distributive property, and it's going to look something like this, where whenever a number is next to a parentheses is 5 times 10, and by distributing, we do 5 times 10, and then we do 5 times 7. So this is 6th grade stuff, just to give you guys a heads up. And then 5 times 50 equals 50, 5 times 7 equals 35, that's going to be 85. That's how you do it in 6th grade, just to give you a little preparation for the future. So we're going to do the same thing in the try it. Find 7 times 56 using an area model. So 56, we're going to split up into 50 and 6. So one thing I am noticing is when they do split up numbers, they try to do it where when you split them up in the tens place, that the last number is 0. That way it's just easier to work with. Notice 17 was 10 plus 7. Now 56 is doing 50 plus 6. So they always end it in 0. So we have 7 times 50 and then 7 times 6. So this is the area model. This is what you'll be doing for the homework. So make sure that we have a good understanding of the area model. I'm going to write down area model. That way you can always refer back to this when you're doing your homework. So number 2, multiply. We know 7 times 50 and then 7 times 6. 7 times 50. Or I can do 7 times 5 equals 35, but 7 times 50 is going to be 350. 7 times 6 is 42. And after I add those two numbers together, I'm going to get the final answer of 392. So 7 times 56 is 392. So let's do the talk about it. So I want you guys to go ahead and try these and pause the video and then it'll go back to this once you've tried it. So I'm actually going to walk this through you guys because this is some pretty advanced math. So how do area models show partial products? Well, we know that we take one factor, and with that factor, we take one factor and separate it to two different sums. So an example, we took 17 and separated that to 10 plus 7. We took 56 and separated that to 50 plus 6. So that's what that sentence is stating. We take one factor and separated it into two different sums. Each addend is multiplied spelling error. Each addend is multiplied by the other factor. And this is to find a part of the total product. So in finding 7 times 56 above, why does the area model separate 56 into 50 and 6? We separate it into 50 and 6. Well, one is to have one ending in a 0, but how we want to state this is it is easier to multiply 7 times 50 and 7 times 6 mentally than 7 times 56. So example, or number 3 says, find 6 times 36 using partial products. Label the model to help you solve. Show your work. So we know we're going to be multiplying this by 6. In 36, we're going to split this up. Hopefully you did 30 and 6, because 30 ends in a 0, then the leftover 6. So we have 30 times 6, and then we have 6 times 6. So 30 times 6 equals 180, because 3 times 6 is 18, and then 30 times 6 is 180. And 6 times 6 equals 36. So after we take 180 plus 36, that's going to give us a final answer of 216. Now remember, when you do your homework, look back at this problem and number 3 and look back at the examples, because these are really going to help you solve the homework. So 4 times 16, 6 times 81. Please refer back to number 3 and example 1 and 2 in your notes. But other than that, thank you for watching.